What's up, guys? Welcome to Sports Talk 101. In today's video, we got some more conference realignment news. So all offseason, we basically had we talked about the Pac-12, right? And then the idea that the Pac-12 teams were leaving, and the Pac-12 to go to the conference. So Utah, Colorado, Arizona, and Arizona State going to the Big 12, and Oregon, Washington going to the Big 10. And then obviously the whole idea of the Pac-12 being the Titanic, and which has two teams remaining, which I'm assuming that the Mountain West Conference will swallow it up. Oregon State and Washington State are the two main teams that unfortunately for their life, and like I said, we're most likely, I'm presuming at some point we'll see them go to Mountain West. The news will happen at some point. But now you're probably asking yourself, what about Cal and Stanford? And so that's what I'm going to make this video about. Essentially, I'm talking about ACC, okay, and conference expansion, conference expansion, and so this news sort of broke out over the weekend. Yes, with some breaking news regarding some conference alignment, and we kind of knew that this was going to happen. And this is my time when it happened. But like so ACC had also been in the news recently with the idea of Florida State and Clemson that were trying to leave the ACC and obviously join the conference. So essentially what happened was the ACC said, you know what, let's go and expand a bit. Okay? And they decided to expand by adding California and Stanford from the Pac-12. So the combined Stanford and California the Big 10. That was the rumors for that two teams. And then also added SMU from the ACC. AAC. This is good news. I mean, obviously the conference is long happening. I mean, there's never conference random news for sure never end anytime soon. But I'm gonna give you news, a little bit of information about what's happening around this, and then a little bit of my opinions. So regarding this, I'm going to quote some stuff from an article that came over the weekend, written by, this is from the CBS. So, obviously on Friday they have voted this, so Friday, September 1st, they have voted this in addition of the favorite additions, and certainly later the board office is going to make, the formal approve the school application. So we have the school officers will hear from the board of directors that go actually approve these applications. So on July 1st, 2024, that's when MCU will become a member of the ACC, and then Stanford and Cal will join eventually a few years later on August 2nd. Keep in mind two things. One, that Stanford is going, when they enter the ACC, is that they're from Pac-12, and they are taking a reduced media rights, meaning that they will take about, that shares right around 30%, okay? Both teams will contribute portions of its revenue back to the conference up to the 10th year. And so then, what about SMU? Well, MCU decided to focus ACC revenue rights basically for 49 years is in the conference, and 10 years of change. But the most thing decided to we'll still receive the college football playoff and the NCAA tournament and the bowl game monies that the league distributes across the years. I'm going to read a quote now from the ACC Commissioner Jim Phillip. And he says that we're thrilled to welcome three world-class institutions to the ACC. We're looking forward to having them compete as part of an amazing league. Throughout evaluation and process, the ACC Board of Directors was essentially led by President Ryan. He's deliberating and prioritizing the best possible athletic academic services for our student athletes, ensuring that the three university will strengthen the league in all possible ways. Cal as a USF will be terrific members of the ACC. We are proud to welcome the student athletes, coaches, staff, and entire campus communities, alumni, and fans. Now, the ACC is expected to receive about $72 million in addition to media rights because of the expansion. And then the $50 million to $60 million dollars of that revenue is basically being made available for the ACC to display either a revised as a financial model or incentive program. All three schools, along with the rest of the league, are eligible to earn additional revenue based on incentives that are tied to have success, tied to success in major sports, like specifically football and men's basketball. Now, this incentive model that is currently being discussed by the ACC will expect funding to be used for the 2024 Olympic season. So what about voting, and how does this voting exactly work? Well, first of all, the league by law requires 12 out of 15 voting members, which includes Notre Dame, to vote in affirmative for expansion to be approved. Now, why does Notre Dame get a vote? Well, technically in football they're not in the ACC, but in other teams, other sports they are, like baseball and basketball. So I guess they get a vote, but that's why Notre Dame gets a vote, because certain schools, certain sports of Notre Dame are in the ACC. Football they're independent. So there's that. So keep in mind, you need 12 out of 15 members to vote. So 4 members, Clemson, Florida State, NC, North Carolina, and NC State, they were initially opposed to the expansion. Now, later on, we learned that NC State flipped its vote in favor of addition of the expansion. Also, keep in mind that Stanford, Cal, and SMU are basically considered a buffer, which is against the cause of the ACC current rights there that ESPN has now has right to basically renegotiate in the lease contract that should membership fall below the 15 schools. Every goes with the whole thing with ACC and the grant of rights deal. So basically what happened with the grant of rights is that 7 ACC schools has been looking at this grant of rights deal to look for approval to exit. And so by adding 3 teams will allow the conference to remain above the 15-member threshold should there be some departure, maybe like Clemson, Florida State. Likely to 2 teams that will likely leave the conference. So my opinion is this. What does this mean for conference spending? I think it's great. I think this is great for SEC. Essentially, I know all this relates to geography, right? You look at the Big Ten. They choose from you get teams, in the Midwest, you get teams in the East Coast. Now they expand off to the West Coast, getting teams in there when they expanded. Now, keep in mind when it comes to expansion, the base area schools are actually that are going to join the AAC, which is Cal and Stanford. And nobody's on rights. The closest athlete school to the Bay Area, as I found out recently, is Athlete Louisville, which is just about 2,000 miles away. Majority of road trip will involve 6-hour flights and about 20-mile drives to major airports. SMU is in a slightly less marsh situation because like in Dallas, which is a flight hub in the middle of the country, and 2, which will be a track from an AC sport. And also keep in mind, again, when it's the West Coast, the time difference. But these games will not be aired on 12 p.m. Midnight or 11 p.m. at night, reasonable time. So 10 p.m. EST will be like 7:30 p.m. Pacific time, or 7:30 EST will be 4:30. So you get what I'm saying. So it'll be teams will get relaxed. It will show a reasonable time matchup. Like for example, Stanford versus Clemson will maybe play at 10 p.m. EST, which is going to play at 7 p.m. Pacific Coast time. And keep in mind, when the ACC was expanding, and it was especially in significant markets, which are in basically the Bay and Dallas area, that's where SMU is. And the reasons why Stanford was not taken originally by the Big Ten is because the Bureau had been seen as basically overrated in terms of the TV demographics, and the Big 12 already has multiple programs in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. One of them is TCU. Both universities are probably members of the AAU, or the American Association of Universities. Actually, that means the best research institutions countries. Now, according to the CBS article, they say that Stanford and Cal are considered more cultural fit than financial one for the ACC, so there you go, that's news for that. 6 of these 15 current ACC schools are actually on the AAU. One thing to know about expansion is you tell the rivalries, right? And that's one of the rivalries that you get in the ACC, which happens to be the one of the sports oldest rivalries, is actually Stanford and Cal. And so it's called the Big Game, and it's been played about 125 times, can you not? And the most famous of meeting was in 1982. Now this is when Cal beat Stanford 25-20 with lots of series of letters, which was actually Stanford's last Hall of Famer John Elway's last game before he head off to the NFL. Now July 1st, 2024, if you guys know, it's going to be truly, I think, we're considered the beginning of new era in college football. 2024 is going to be a new era in college football, because it's Pac-12 going right expiring that day. You have the Big Ten, SEC, Big 12, and now the ACC that going conference expansion. Also, the 12-team playoff will be debut in the 2024 season. So essentially, this is the news regarding conference expansion in the ACC. I know a lot of fans, Clemson fans, and other people. Again, this is not great for conference, but looking at this is not bad for the ACC. I think I'm all for conference, not all for conference, but like for this, I think SMU is going to help the ACC. Like I said, not just in football, but you got to keep in mind the other things. You got to keep in mind other sports like basketball, baseball, softball, and also football and basketball being the big main ones. But there are small sports that also be in consideration when it comes to conference realignment. So that's what I have for today. Don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel. Comment below though today. I want to hear your opinions, guys, of what you think of the ACC. Do you approve? Do you approve the ACC should expand? Do you agree with the ACC expanding any of this team? Do you think they'd be great fits for this team, or do you think they're not? Let me know. Comment below. Until then, I'm Sports Talk 1 signing out, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.